Hey there, caregivers. Let me ask you something. How many times have you thought to yourself, I need help, but then immediately felt guilty for even considering it? I know that early on in my career, I had trouble asking for help. And when I didn't, it made things twice as hard, and I would be exhausted and tired. And then finally, I realized that if I just ask for help, somebody may have a shortcut or somebody may know something that I didn't know that could actually help me. Or sometimes I needed a break. So maybe you've tried asking for help, but the response has been disappointing. Maybe somebody brushed you off or gave you some, vague promises, or even made you feel like you were asking for too much. And I see this all the time with caregivers. You are not alone. But so many caregivers feel stuck between needing support and feeling like they should be able to handle everything. So today we're going to break that cycle. We're talking about how to ask for help in a way that actually works without any guilt, without any hesitation, and without feeling like you're burdening anyone. And why is it that we struggle to ask for help anyway? So, first, let's acknowledge the biggest reasons we hesitate to ask for help. Perhaps you have some guilt, feeling like you're supposed to handle everything because it's your responsibility. Or maybe you feel fear of rejection. You don't want to hear no because you've heard it 1,000 times before and you've been met with excuses. Or maybe you feel like it's just easier to do it yourself and you've been disappointed before. So why even bother? Or maybe you just don't know how to ask. Feel like what I'm asking is too vague, or I feel uncomfortable asking for help. So if any of this sounds familiar to you, you are not alone. But here's the truth: caregiving should be shared. It should be shared care, not a one person job. And when you don't know how to ask for help, it doesn't just affect you, it affects your loved one because burnout leads to resentment and exhaustion and mistakes in care. And while nobody likes to say that they're burned out, we often get there. So, what's a way that you can ask that will actually get results? So, let's break it down into some simple steps. Number one, be specific and direct. People don't know what you need unless you spell it out. So, instead of, I need help, try, could you help me pick up some groceries for me on Sunday? Or could you sit with mom for like 2 hours on Wednesday so I can get some errands done, go to the doctor myself? Or would you be willing to take over medication reminders so I don't have to do this alone? The more specific you are, the easier it is for people to give you a yes. And then, second, give them some options. Not everyone can physically be there, but that doesn't mean that they still can't help you. Instead of assuming that they're going to say no, offer some choices. So, like, I know you're busy, but would you rather help by bringing some meals over, handling phone calls, or could you possibly cover a bill? I could really use the support. And would you prefer to help weekly, or could you help me monthly or on an as needed basis? Because that will remove the pressure and let them feel like they're choosing how they want to contribute. Lastly, normalize asking for help, not just when you're in crisis mode. One of the biggest mistakes that you could make is waiting until you are drowning to ask for help. So start small, let people get used to you asking for their involvement. Make it a regular thing, not just when you're desperate. Make this an ongoing process. If someone says no, ask someone else because their no isn't a reflection of your worth. It's just a tiny little piece of information. Try not to take that personally. I have to admit, I have problems with this one. It took me a really long time to ask people for help, but you can do it because if I can do it, you can do it too. So just try shifting your mindset about asking for help. You don't have to prove your love through exhaustion. Caregiving is not a solo job, it's shared care. Now, I understand that some of you may be solo caregivers, and you may not have someone in your immediate family to ask for help. But if you do have people to ask for in your family for help, understand that this is shared care and that you need their support. And all you need to do is ask because shared care leads to sustainable support. So today, I want you to practice this. Pick one thing you need help with, one small little task, one small little errand that you need help with, and ask for it clearly, specifically, and without any guilt. If you need a shoulder or a place to learn and share with other caregivers, come join my free group. It's a safe space for you to lean into other caregivers just like you. Message me and I can send you that link. And if any of this feels like you, drop a comment or let me know how you ask for help and tell me one way you can create shared care in your life. Until then, I will be sharing information and caring for you as you care for them. Until next time, sending lots of love.